The galaxy remembered the day humanity arrived, not with fleets, not with wars, not with demands, but with a promise to repay a debt. Most species considered humans unpredictable, a volatile blend of mercy and fury. Some laughed at the idea that such a young species could owe anything significant to the ancient powers of the Orion Arm. But the few who had witnessed the Terran Oath knew better. Rose Vallon, commander of the Terran Diplomatic Vanguard, remembered every detail of the day humanity received the debt. She had been a young officer then, standing beside James Ward, her colleague, rival, and closest companion in the stars. And now, 10 years later, both stood on the shimmering bridge of the starship TDS Resolute, looking at the crisis unfolding across the galaxy. The Threx Dominion, a brutal insectoid empire, had declared extermination on the Vahrin, a peaceful reptilian species who once saved a stranded human explorer long before humanity joined the galactic stage. They had given him shelter for 6 months, fed him, healed him, taught him their language, and released him freely when he left. Humanity never forgot that, and humanity never left debts unpaid. Chapter 1. The Debt. Rose watched the holographic map spin slowly, red markers representing Threx fleets closing around the Vahrin homeworld. "They have 40 hours before the Dominion sterilizes the planet," she said quietly. James folded his arms. "And the Galactic Council still won't intervene." "No," Rose replied. "They're afraid. The Threx have won every conflict they started for 200 years. James snorted. "They haven't fought humans." Rose's lips curved into a hard smile. "Not yet." The bridge officer straightened as she stepped forward, her voice calm but carrying the weight of the Terran Oath. "Transmit encoded order Alpha G," Rose commanded. The officers froze. Alpha G was more than a battle directive. It was a declaration understood by every Terran soldier. The debt will be repaid. Every asset, every ship, every soldier. Mobilize. James exhaled slowly. "You're really doing it." "We're not starting a war," Rose said. "The Dominion started it the moment they targeted the ones who once saved one of ours." He smiled. "Humans and our loyalty? It scares the galaxy?" "Good," she replied. "It should." Chapter 2. The Dominion. Laughs across the galaxy, in the colossal war hall of the Threx Dominion. The High Broodlord received the Terran transmission, a debt repayment order. He clicked in amusement. "Humans believe honor wins wars," he hissed. "How charming." The lesser broodlings chittered mockingly. "Let them come," the Broodlord commanded. "We will crush their primitive metal ships. Their screams will decorate the stars." He did not yet understand the truth. Humans do not repay debts with kindness. They repay them with interest. Chapter 3. The 12th Fleet arrives. 27 Terran fleets emerged from warp. It was said across the galaxy that human ships looked like floating fortresses. Thick armor, minimal curves, brutal efficiency. But what terrified other species more was the humans inside them. Humans who fought wars not for conquest, but for principles. James stood beside Rose as the Vahrin homeworld came into view. Cities burned, defense grids failed, millions fled underground. Vahrin Chancellor Serana's voice trembled through the comms. "Terrans, you shouldn't have come. The Dominion will destroy you. Please, save yourselves." Rose knelt down, bringing her face close to the hologram. "Chancellor," she said gently, "your people saved a human life once." James stepped forward. "And humans repay debts." Rose gave the order. "All ships, shield the Vahrin homeworld, prepare for ground deployment." And humanity descended. Chapter 4. The Storm Called Humans. The Threx invasion force landed with overconfidence. They expected weak resistance. Instead, they met humans. James led the first landing squad, sprinting across burning soil as kinetic impacts rained down. The Dominion soldiers charged forward, but human exosuits moved faster, hit harder, and operated with a precision the Threx had never seen. James slammed his gauntlet forward, sending a shockwave through a cluster of Threx warriors. "Rose, Eastern Trench clear!" Above them, Rose piloted a sleek gunship, firing plasma arcs that carved glowing paths through enemy formations. But the most terrifying thing was how humans fought. Not with bloodlust, but with a cold, focused fury sharpened by gratitude. Every squad carried medkits for Varin civilians. Every soldier risked themselves for strangers. Every shot was controlled. This was what humanity looked like when defending those they cared about. Not conquerors, not aggressors, guardians. Chapter 5. Words that shook the galaxy. After 20 hours of non-stop combat, the humans forced a retreat across the continent. Threx ships began withdrawing to orbit. Rose opened a channel to the Dominion flagship. The Broodlord appeared, bruised and furious. "You humans dare interfere?" he screeched. "You risk annihilation for a primitive lizard species?" Rose leaned forward, eyes calm and dangerous. "They saved one of ours," she said. James added, "and we pay our debts." "Is that all?" the Broodlord spat. Rose's voice dropped into a cold whisper heard across dozens of sectors. "You don't understand humans. When we protect those we owe—" Her eyes hardened. "The galaxy trembles." Then she delivered the sentence that became one of the most famous quotes in HFY history. "We don't abandon friends. We bury threats." Chapter 6. The Turning of the Tide. The Dominion, enraged, unleashed its full armada. The sky darkened with warships. A normal species would have fled. Humans didn't. Terran ships formed a defensive wall around the Vahrin planet. Shields flared. Hulls cracked. Alarms screamed. But not one human vessel retreated. James's voice shook with adrenaline as he monitored the tactical feed. "Rose, if they break our line—" "They won't," she said. "Not today." And then the impossible happened. Terran reinforcements arrived, every fleet from Sol to Andromeda's frontier. Humanity had mobilized faster than any species in history. The largest coordinated hyperspace arrival ever recorded filled the sky with human steel. For the first time in centuries, the Threx Dominion hesitated. For the first time, they felt fear. The battle lasted 6 more hours. The Dominion lost. Utterly. Epilogue. The debt paid. When peace returned, the Vahrian Chancellor stood before Rose and James, eyes filled with gratitude. "Why did you go this far?" he asked. "Why risk extinction for us?" Rose answered simply, "Because you helped one human once." James nodded. "And when humans repay a debt, we repay it completely." The Vahrian would later record this moment as the day their species was reborn, and the galaxy would remember it as the day they truly understood humanity. Kind beyond reason, terrifying beyond measure, unbreakable when loyal. And when they repay a debt, the entire galaxy trembles.